was fun. Yeah. On this creek.
Thanks, Adam. Great. Good job. Yeah, thanks, guys. Hopefully that fog lift's a little higher for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raj.
Yeah, we were gonna land way down at the main river, the valley bottom. We'd have a lot longer hike, probably another hour hike through all that second growth there, thick second growth regen. But this is a lot closer. The edge of the old growth is right there.
Right in the zone.
Yeah. Okay, so that's where we landed, way down there. We landed way down there in the creek. And then we hiked up to the creek till we can get up off the bank. Hiking up through all this fern area. So clean ground, so clean, easy hiking. And then there's a, just over there, around the hill here, is the old conventional block. And then here is the old tailhold notch. I guess they just went up the hill, up past the back line till they found a real big one. Real big tree to put a tailhold. So they would have wrapped a 1-inch cable, 1.5-inch cable around here, with 2 eyes on it, and then they would have put the block on there, just a big pulley. Yeah, they notched it here too. They would have had a tremendous amount of lift. Can't even see the block down there, the old block. But you can tell it was a while ago. 50 years ago probably. I mean, look how much the trees healed and growing around where they cut. Okay, right here. It's cranked this way down the hill. Yeah. And then, so here's the change in the hill here. So we got a bit of a dip right here in the mountain, bit of a draw, big wide draw, and then the main creek goes up the mountain that way. And then right here is a ridge. Right here is the peak of the ridge, and then the hill turns off and goes over that way. I already lost my partner. He's way up the hill already. But we got plenty of time because there was like 6, 7, 8 trips ahead, or chopper trips to go before the chopper can bring our gear to us. And we landed so close to where we're going to put the pad is. So we got plenty of time. Where is he? Yeah, we got plenty of time to find a pad. Look how clean the ground is. Oh, man, it's such easy hiking. Oh, this is fun. And we got some overcast, which is fantastic because, and we had some fog, like you see in the chopper. We were right on the ceiling there. Got some low level fog. We couldn't cut through the mountain pass there. We had to go all the way around this whole mountain range to the open ocean. And then go around the open ocean there until this valley here opens up to the ocean. We had to come in through the ocean side instead of going through that pass from the inlet. Yeah, so it was a nice scenic route to work. And I've been here, 5 months ago. I put a couple pads at the end of this valley here a couple months ago. So that would have been, I had a bunch of videos on that like 2 months ago. I think I posted them. Something like that. Yeah, okay, well, I'll turn the camera off. Nothing much to see now. But yeah, I'm hiking up and over. We're gonna go check out that over there. We want to put a pad just above the regen, so we don't have to cut anything below the pad. Maybe a couple saplings, and the chopper will have a real nice approach. So I'll turn the camera back on when we get up to the area where we want to put a pad in. Hopefully you can find a good spot. And if not, plan B, I guess it'd be up on this ridge, and then plan C is gonna be over on that ridge over there. Yeah. Okay, see you guys out there. Okay, so there's our spot. Right where my axe is. That stump down there, and then that one right there is where the pad's gonna be. And look how clean the ground is around here. Look how far you can see up the hill. I can see like 300 feet up the hill. Pretty nice here. Lots of birds chirping. Yeah. Lots of big, tall tall blueberry bushes. It's not super thick. Some areas, high elevation areas, are super thick blueberries. This is pretty sparse, but the berry bushes are quite tall. And it's not so bad for saplings either. Yeah. And not even that thick for slough. There's a little bit of slough down there, but it's really easy walking around here. So we're just waiting for the chopper to finish doing his flights, and then he'll fly us our gear. I'll do a panorama around here. There's a big fir. We're gonna leave this fir. It's far enough away from the pad. Yeah. But yeah, that's the spot right down there. Don't get hung up on those branches now. There we go. Oh, this pilot's smooth. Oh, it's right above my head. I mean, right here. Yeah, that pilot was good. That tiny little hole there. And quick too. Right on. That was one big solid fir. Pad's gonna be way up there. We'll have a real nice approach. Yeah, we'll have a real nice one. That was a lot of cutting. Okay, back to work. Gotta go up in that rock face there and that bluff and get that cedar down. We'll have to get those little cedars. Get that one, another cedar over there. I have to get right on the side of Rock bluff. Oh, well, it's not that bad. I just don't slip. Okay, so I finished my tank. My partner's right down there. I think he's getting that tree right there. He got the one on the cliff there. He ended up getting that one. I ended up running out of gas before I could get to it. And then I painted up the 2 trees there. That's going to be where the pad is going to be. And I painted it approximately where we want to put the stump, you know, how high we wanted it, right there. And then I put arrows because that way you don't accidentally cut it down too low. If you're not paying attention and you just cut it like any other normal tree, you cut the stump real low and then you're hooped. So I'll put a little paint, a little arrow pointing up there because I've done it. I've accidentally cut my pad stumps way too low. So you paint it just so you don't accidentally cut them too low. Yeah. So the bottom there is all opened up. There's that big fir stump right there. And then we're gonna go over to that big cedar right there. Probably like 6 feet at the butt or 6-7 feet at the butt or something like that. And it looks all slabby and not very fun, but he's just dumping her down the hill. So, I mean, he got lots of pushers, so shouldn't be a problem unless that's on the ledge too. So if it's on the ledge, then you might have a hard time getting the undercut out. But I haven't even been over there yet, so I don't know what he's doing. I think he's just climbing around the side of the bluff there, trying to get a good spot to stand. And then over here, side hill, west, that's open ocean over there. A bit of a draw right there. There's a big draw. Big wide ravine that kind of narrows as it goes down. Let's go take a look for something to do. Let's go over this way. Let's see if there's any water in this creek. No, she's dried up, but she gets real steep. Real steep, holy smokes. Don't want to slip. Oh yeah. And the big, small bluff edge along there is probably like 50 feet, 50, 60 feet. And then as it goes along, it blends into the hill at this ravine here. Looks like some good wood up there. You can see the top of the mountain just up there. If I look almost at ground level, you can see the sky in the background. You see the sky there? So the top is not that far away. Looks like it benches out up there too. Might be some easy cutting. Talking to the engineers, it sounds like this area here, once it gets approved, they gotta finish ribboning out. Oh, there it goes. The head engineer is saying that the time they get this all ribboned out, engineered, mapped, and then send the application in to get it approved to cut, they figure optimistically in the fall. So we won't be cutting this block till the fall at the earliest, probably in the winter sometime. There's usually always some kind of delay. It might be winter before we get back here, which is fine. Back how clean the ground is, eh? Yeah, too bad any of these blueberry, huckleberry bushes don't have any berries on it. Not yet, anyway. Okay, well, I guess I'll turn the camera back on when I get something else to show you. Maybe when that tree goes over. Turn it back on. Yeah, and it's getting brighter. The fog is lifting. We got a bit of a nice breeze. Feels nice. Even though it's cloudy, it's actually quite hot and humid right now. It's like 20 degrees Celsius. Yeah, so a nice breeze, help cool you down. Okay, well, yeah, turn the cam back on here in a little bit. There we go, I just finished my tank. My partner's gonna clear all this out of there. I'm gonna try and wedge this cedar. It's gonna be our board tree. I'm gonna wedge it into here above the stump. Lay it right in here. Get this filled up. I'm gonna have a snack. Look at the view, eh? We're actually gonna leave that because it's far enough away from the pad. We're gonna leave it. Limb tied. I saw a couple. Yeah, but there's that big fur we're gonna leave. And that's that's the next one we're gonna use for boards. That cedar there. Okay, so here's our stringer tree, board tree, and there's the pad right down there, 2 stumps. And we got all opened up. It's all opened up everywhere. So we're just gonna rip our boards and then pack them down to the pad, level out the stumps, and then put the pad together. So yeah, this was an easy one. So I'm gonna do a time lapse. Put the camera on the stump there and do a little time lapse. Oh, with the saw?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go brush out all that stuff on the blowdown.
Oh yeah, nice, yeah. Yeah, this big sapling too is kind of little.
Yeah, I'll take her out then.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little close. Adam likes his room.
Yeah.
Replace that metal plate whenever it gets a groove cut in it, your chain doesn't.
Yeah, I know, your chain doesn't stay in the bar.
No. Good there. Spread them out a bit more.
I think it's good. Trim the ends?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Trim the ends. Back for another from this one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Really spike it in.
Ah.
time. I thought we were going to be early, but
Yeah.
time flew by.
Yeah, we sat around for a long time.
That's true, we did, yeah. An hour and a half.
Yeah.
Something like that. There we are. She's pretty much done. Just got to paint her up. Get all the sawdust off of there so you can spray paint it. I can hear the river way down at the valley bottom, or some waterfalls in the distance. You can just hear it, and birds everywhere. Yeah. I love it out here. Now, if it was a sunny, clear day, the sun would be like right here somewhere. We would just be roasting in the sun. So thank God we got this cloud cover here. Okay, so we're done. I got some boards here that I was ripping, but the tree had a natural bow to it. And I came back a little bit. I started right here. There's the end. But it's still too much of a bow to it. The boards are still cranked too much. So I should have came back about another halfway from here and then started ripping boards, and it probably would have been a lot better. But we had enough anyways. We got enough boards down there. We got 7 boards. It's plenty. Well, while we got some time to kill, just waiting for my partner to paint it up, and then we could start packing our gear on the side there. And then we'll call for the chopper. But in the meantime, let's do some zooming in here. It's, I don't know. Let's zoom in on that spot in the river there we can see. Okay, what else? You can see the old roads, eh? Right there's an old road. It's a lighter green. That's the alder. Alder is a lighter green. Than the rest of the timber. I don't know what's planted out there. Fir and cedar, it looks like. Like you can see, right here is a lighter green, right there. That's cedar. They planted cedar there. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, let's go over here where I get a view up the valley there between those trees. Old cut block way over there. You can see the road, eh? That dark green, or that dark shady area, that line, that's just the shade. There's a shade of this alders, right? Because alders grows like a weed, it grows so fast, it's taller than the regen and the block. Looks like there's another road right along there, right there. The road. Yeah. Well, let's go down to the pad. See if we can get a vantage point down the valley out west here. Oh, I can't quite see the ocean. Well, oh, look at that slide out there. I should get the pilot to hover just off the ground up there and see if there's any quartz. See if there's any quartz veins out there. Why not, eh? You never know. You can tell it's quite a long time ago too, because everything below is all green again. All in there, it's all growing back up. I guess there's just no soil in that slide where it started for anything to grow. Man, that breeze is so refreshing. Oh, it feels so good. Okay, that's it. Nothing else to see. So we've named this pad the Dolly Varden. We always name our pads. We get some pretty goofy names sometimes. Yeah. But she's all ready to go.
Oh, Dolly Varden.
Okay, I can hear him coming. He painted his axe there, my partner. Painted it all blue. Yeah.